Women Speak Training provides media training and public communications training for women. The way I got started is I had worked for years as a public speaking consultant and as a media trainer. And when I was doing both of those things, I began to notice that women had really different needs from men in training for both of those things. And not only that, but they had the same needs as each other. And I began to be curious as to why that was. And I started to do a lot of research on communication style and discovered that they do in fact communicate very differently. And since media training and public speaking training is communications training, I thought, well, why not acknowledge this difference in the training? I think there are two things that I love equally about having my own business. The first of which is having my own business enables me to have the kind of life that I love. So that's the first. And the second is I love the idea that I get excited by something and I find other people who get excited by it too. And that is thrilling beyond measure to me. So those two things, whenever times get kind of dark in terms of starting my own business or having my own business, those are the two ideas that I always return to that really keep me going. I think the thing that really inspired me to start Women Speak was I started doing research on this communication difference, and then I started doing research on numbers of women in media, like how we were faring in media, if there was a need for women to have their own media training. And the aha moment for me became when I saw like the numbers of women in media and how low they are. And so I was like, why? That we should be giving them this training on their own terms. So that for me, literally when I saw the numbers of that low presence and the skill set that I wanted to offer, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, the need is absolutely there. I think I worked alone too long. And I would say get out, even when you have the first idea that's the spark for your business, get out into the community. There's so many great women's networking groups. Get out there and start talking to other women and to other business owners as soon as possible. There's so many networks out there. And I feel like the mistake I made was I toiled alone in my office for so long before reaching out for support and help, and all of those things are there. I think for me, success means continuing to have a life that makes me happy, as wishy-washy as an answer to this that might sound. I think success for me is freedom. The thing that really inspires me, when I was 13, my grandmother gave me the We Can Do It poster, which is actually the center image for my website, the Rosie the Riveter. And as a 13-year-old girl, and I responded to that image so strongly, and it's in my office and became the center of my business because it inspires me. So I'd say Rosie the Riveter, we can do it. A woman who's starting a business has done all the prep work and she's just having a hard time jumping in and getting started and taking that first step. I think the thing you have to ask yourself is why? What are you scared of? Identify that and work to fix it. But at the same time, you can only prepare so much, and at a certain point you just have to jump in. You really just have to jump in and have faith that you are prepared and that you're competent and that you are going to do a great job. And you will. You will. One thing that I found really helpful to me and to other women who have been starting their own businesses is there are so many great resources online that walk you through starting a business. I know in New York there's a website for small businesses, and there's a link to women and minority-owned businesses. The internet is like the best thing that ever happened for the small business owner. So I would say that. There's also Pink Magazine, which I think is pretty much the best magazine ever, which is about women in business, and I found it to be pretty much a godsend as I was starting and building my business. If I could encourage women to do anything, it's to know that they tend to be natural communicators, and it's now about getting in the public conversation. And we're not there in equal numbers, and we're not there in equal numbers by a long shot. So that would be, I think, the single, if I could kind of distill it down to one thing, it would be that we have this gift and we're not using it the way that we should be.